evening, guys. So this is the first episode of our show, Overcomaz. I'm Andre Simpson, and this is Marsha, and this is our first guest, Kim. All right. So
Hi.
okay. So with the show, the aim is to basically highlight our guests' journey, and how they might have overcome certain situations, and whatever tips or guides they can give other persons who've been through similar situations to overcome that situation also. All right, so our first guest is here, Kim Snow,
Hi,
and
guys.
it's a pleasure having you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on here as well.
How are you
Yeah.
today?
A little bit is despite whatever is the chaos going on outside, you try and keep a frame of mind of just staying focused and have a positive mental space. Not easy, but I try my best.
Yeah, that's true. It's quite chaotic now. For me, I'm pretty much an extrovert, but for this time, I don't mind being inside. So that's for me, and trying to be positive, talking to friends and family back home because I don't live in Jamaica right now. So that is how I've been trying to keep my mental space clear and positive.
Yes.
How about you,
Um,
Aunt?
so
Oh,
you are currently in which
which country?
yeah.
I'm in Canada.
You're in Canada. Oh, girl. Awesome.
Yes, I've
Um,
been here a while.
yeah.
I moved from Japan to here, so yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's kind of ironic. We're in three different regions: Jamaica, Canada, and the
Canada
US.
and the US,
All
New York.
Jamaicans.
Yeah.
So,
Jamaica.
okay. All right, so let's get started. So Kim, what was it like for you growing up?
For me, growing up, I would say my early childhood development it wasn't the smoothest because I grew up, in Jamaica, we tend to have like we grew up in an extended family setting. For me, because my mom had me outside of,
Good
wedlock
luck. Okay.
at such a young age. At age 13, she
Wow.
was active. But to be honest, I can't blame her because when you start growing up and realizing the circumstances under which she had
Mhm.
me around Gilbert. And if you're aware, Gilbert
Never
happened
Gilbert.
1988.
1988. And that
Uh-huh.
year, from what I understand, after that happened, the whole island was in havoc.
It
And a
was
lot
a
of
restart.
persons, yeah, the resources weren't there. Imagine in Kingston where they had lights and stuff, right? But in the country, how
Country.
Jamaica is, even
Exactly.
to this day, it's the same way.
Yeah.
In the country regions, it was a lot. It took them months to get back light and stuff. So what I found out growing up now is that they had a lot of Gilbert babies, and the reason why they had a lot of Gilbert babies is because a lot of people are doing nothing. You don't have no light, you don't have no nothing. So what you end up doing?
That's
Having sex.
it. So which area in Jamaica are you from?
All right, so I was born in St. Elizabeth.
Oh,
And at that time too, because my mom was so young, she ended up having a home birth with me.
Okay.
oh,
Had a home
I'm
birth.
a home birth also.
You was a home birth? Oh my
Yes.
God. Yeah, and
Yes.
I found out later on because you look on it, I found out from them. I still had my birth certificate, but I knew I was delivered at home.
Mhm.
No, because of that, you having a child at such a having my mom experiencing that at such a young age, maybe where she was too, because in that area, when I go back there, my mom grew up in a maroon village in
Okay.
St. And those maroon villages, if you study about the history, you understand those were like those areas where the slaves escaped from and from their own area. And so my mother grew up in that area, and because she had me so young, I don't know, they never treated her well, and they kind of so my mom being at her age, I guess my grandmother maybe she was ashamed too. I don't know what the decision was, but my father's extended family that resided in Kingston, because of when you start to realize some things about your family history and you start asking questions, because when you grow up they hide a lot of things from you.
mm.
Sometimes if you don't query you won't know. So I never really too query certain things because you know you listen to what them tell you in a church, obey your parents and don't
And don't
question
ask.
nothing. And
Yeah,
don't ask nothing. So you there know you not ask nothing, you question nothing. So you just go with the flow. They tell you go to school and you do you good and you follow what them say and you follow all this stuff. And so you grew up really just kind of following rules and stuff. So I grew up in that situation and then afterwards, my mom, because she had me young now, you know, she don't really have, she's inexperienced. Is that, you know, we say in the Bible, children having children. So my mom had
exactly.
that. So she was really a child herself. So she and my father and my great grandaunt decided that they were gonna, because my great grandaunt apparently was raising my dad, and I don't know why she was raising him. Who knows? I don't know what decisions they, you don't understand what people's decision is back in the day. You know, as a
Hmm.
question thing. So she, my great grandaunt was raising my dad, and according to them, my dad was in trouble.
Mm,
But I get to find out later on, now that I'm here in America, I start to realize that maybe that wasn't even true.
mm.
But anyways, whatever they said about him, they decided to send him back. And so I don't know if it was a sense of guilt where the great grandaunt had over the years because she sent him back. When he went back, he started having a lot of children.
So wait, he
Okay.
was in the States and they sent him back to
He
Jamaica?
wasn't in the States, he was in Kingston.
Kingston. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So he
Okay.
was in Kingston living with her, and then they decided to send him back there. But to be honest, I always think that's not a good thing because you know you grow up and you realize when you break away from your family, not extended family necessarily going to treat your kids as good as how
The
you treat
same way. That's
them.
true.
You know, so I don't know why, what was it? And they could have been lying on my father. You know, they could probably be lying on him the whole time,
Mhm.
and you don't know. But because I asked my dad one day, because when I came here to New York and I started to get the gist of how them a behave, I realized that all this time they didn't like my dad. And I asked my dad, he said, no, that wasn't true. They just decided. Anyways, I'm not going too much into that. So
Okay.
after I'm thinking that she probably had some guilt. So she decided to take one of his children because my dad went down there and just maybe just felt, I don't know if he fell into depression. I don't know what was it. I don't understand what was in his headspace. I never
Hmm.
asked what's going on with him. But you, because me grew up, I'm a book nerd and I'm kind of a house rat too. So but
Okay.
really a question so much because I want to do well in it. I'm a love read. So I'm always gonna read things and
And
focus
stay in
on
your books.
and yeah, and you them tell you to respect your elders and all of that. So I never really too into all of that stuff. But they decided because my mom had me young though, they were gonna take either my other sister or me. So they took me. My great grandma, she took me. Apparently she loved me when she saw me. And
Okay.
she took me and decided that, as I said, I think it's probably guilt because she said, oh, she's sending back and him down there, probably not doing anything with him life. And so she, maybe to kind of, she's trying to see how she can help the situation.
Okay. So you basically grew up with your grand aunt then.
I grew up with her until she passed away from cancer. But that woman,
Okay.
she loved me.
Mm,
Like she, in a sense, she kind of protected me, right?
mm.
And she treated me as a mother should because in a sense she had children and she raised several children, about 7 or 8 of them she had.
So
But
wait,
to be honest,
I was
in
gonna
a
ask
sense
you, your dad was young as well as your mom? Or
no, my dad was older, but you know when you're a young girl, you know man sweet up your head with a few things you don't know if it is. And then you down there in the country, you don't know what my father was saying to her, what he was, to persuade her, because
And just coming from Kingston, right? Just coming from.
yeah, and that's a next thing too. You come from Kingston, you
oh
think it's
boy,
just,
boy.
oh boy, yeah. So you should probably ask them, "Ooh, nice and we get some of that too, you
Okay.
know." And then my father's family, the Snow family in St. Elizabeth, they kind of they are kind of a good stronghold in the community.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in a sense, my grandfather, all of them was good. My grand, who knows? There probably some people never, I don't know, but to be honest, they were respected to
You're
some
respected. Okay.
extent. Yeah.
So,
So,
so like for the most part, like your upbringing, was it a smooth upbringing?
no, I would say for the most part, my upbringing wasn't that smooth because, as I said, growing up with in your extended family. In the Caribbean, I don't know why we always seem to be breaking away black families, or we
To be honest with you, to kind of piggyback on that note, it kind of stems back or goes back to slavery days.
slavery, yes. And that's the
And
thing too, because and the thing is, what pissed me off is the mere fact that when you're getting older, you know the things that happen. You understand the systematic breakdowns that they use to kind of break away the black family and so forth,
exactly,
and to
exactly.
dismantle the black family. And then we, especially the elders, you grow up and see it, and instead of breaking that cycle,
And
you're
that's the thing.
you're continuing the breakdown of the black family. And then at the end of the day, you assume that, oh, we're expecting the heal of a nation and the heal of a nation.
Mentally,
But I was gonna say, like, one of the thing with Jamaica is that not only the breakaway of the family is the fact that we don't emphasize marriage. We don't emphasize those kind of
And
families. We
and the thing
emphasize
is, no, there's a thing too. The younger generation are, cause all right, for me, I grew up where I look on marriage, because from what I understand from you, look on marriage as a unison of two people of trying to build together and stuff, right?
yeah,
But to me, I think a good basis of that should be love, because without love, how is it gonna grow? And how do you show love? How do you what is going on in our black families? Because I come here and I look at in New York, I'm around Jewish people, and you look at how they and I look at Muslims, Jewish, which other sect,
and Asian.
Asians, even Pakistanians, and they seem to stick together.